Hi, let's talk about portals and those specifically that get entities in your space that you might have in your house. How do they get there and how to get rid of them? So first things first, the way you would imagine another location, like let's say right now you took a few deep breaths, relaxed, and then, I don't know, imagined a place like Hawaii, maybe your own paradise island. Maybe an anime world, a movie world, a place that you fell in love with, that you wish you could be in. You would see a certain location and get a certain feeling about it. Like, if I was there, it would feel like this. And for some of you, it might be relaxing. It's like, finally, home. Maybe it is your favorite forest. Maybe it's a beach. But you get a sense of, feeling relaxed, feeling comfortable, feeling like you're at home. For others, it might be like their dream location. Like let's say if it would be an anime or video games or movies, or maybe your own creative place, or maybe heaven, or maybe some other location. But you would go there and you might have a certain sense of adventure. Like Assassin's Creed world, like jumping to the rooftops and having certain abilities. If I was there, I could do this. And it feels great, it feels exciting. So we have an ability to sit down, close our eyes, or keep it open. And some of us will visualize and put ourselves in a certain location and have feelings. So this is the same way you open portals. In a way, there are lots of ways to do it, but the thing is, you are able to shift your consciousness, to shift your perspective. It is your point of view traveling from one location to the other or being in a few places at once. And this is a great ability to have. But you're not the only one that has this ability. And while some of us use this to relax, to travel, to explore, to meditate, to find something like, oh, okay, I'm going to explore my cache of records. And you might take a few moments to relax. And you are in this library and you're picking up books or other kind of files and documents, you read it, and you come back with information about this world, about yourself, about spirituality, but you have a better understanding of something. And you did this all by accessing your own consciousness and everything that exists and nothing all at once. And a lot of people can do this, but we're not the only ones. There are other beings who have this ability, and they might have different intentions. So there are people who can create portals in a way, and there are other, let's just say, other ETs who can do the same thing with technology or with their own consciousness, and then they can direct it with certain purposes. While some of us use it to travel and relax, others can use it as a camera, like think of George Orwell bears who constantly watch and listen to you and kind of report it to the government. Others can use it to as cameras. Others can use it as a train station. And a lot of people literally have a portal open in their house. And that portal works like an intergalactic station where people will use that little space to cross from one place to another. And it might not necessarily be directed at you. Like this thing is not meant to harm you. You just have this thing open in your location. The same way you kind of innocently created a space or opened up a little space for you to enter the beach is the same way others used your location. And it's not necessarily, oh, your house, your room is the target. Someone is going to leave that there. But beings will create portals for them to travel from one place to another. And you have an ability to perceive more than most people. You've been learning, you've been training yourself, you might start seeing energy, or you just pick it up by feeling state. You might not see it, you might not perceive it that much, but the feeling state of oh, this place, every time I enter my room or certain location in my house is just so freaking crowded, I can't handle it. It's too much, it just drains me. And literally, you pick up, you feel that in your house. So Even if you do not see it, you feel it. And then if you feel it, this is good because you can locate it. Is it to your right or to your left? This heavy feeling, this draining, this maybe headache or overwhelming feeling. Where is it around you? And you start like, let's say, moving your arms and like, well, to my right, it seems a bit easier, but to my left, it's a bit heavier. So you just walk around the house looking for that. A sudden sensing. How heavy is it? Where is it? It's like hot or cold, where you're looking for an item and someone's saying hot, it's hotter, you're getting there, yeah. Same way, you're looking for this heavy energy. You're walking around and you're like, oh, this place is just like, this specific location in my house might be the kitchen, might be the corridor, might be your bedroom. And it's just like, whoa, all of a sudden the energy shifted. It's not necessarily like sensing a ghost where it gets cold, where it gets like, oh, all of a sudden you get goosebumps and it's empty or you're feeling like you're being watched. But the energy is going to be more draining, a bit heavier, where you cannot be in that space because there's so much activity going on. So once you are able to either see it or locate it by feeling it, what you want to do is, depending on the origin of the portal, where it was created to target you, like let's say someone opened it up for entities, for Incubus or Succubus to get into your space, to mess with you, or some beings literally a long time ago, or just recently, created this portal as a train station, as a gateway from one place to another. And literally, they might not have meant to target you or specifically to pick your room or your house, but in their own world, in their own reality, they place that, but you, with your extraordinary sensory skills, were able to pick it up in your room. They create it in their reality, but you, with your frequency, with how you focus, can pick up not just physical world, but more. Because you have all those abilities. And once you access that, like, oh, you start picking up more, you start feeling more, you start becoming a bit more sensitive. And then you wonder, well, why do I feel so exhausted? Every time I enter my room, I have these kind of dreams and stuff. And you would just go through the list of why you feel that way. And so if you pick up on the portal, again, depending on the origins, if it is meant to target you, if it is meant like to mess with you, someone opened that space for entities or specifically Succubus and Incubus get into your space so that they would like drain your energy, affect your dreams. If it's that kind of purpose, then you would only need to have an intention. Okay, you might not see it, but you feel it, it's heavier, and specifically in your room or corridor or kitchen or certain location in your house, maybe your friend's house, maybe your parents' house, maybe some other place, but you have the ability to close it. And all you need is like sort of pick a possible location if you don't see it, just by energy, just by feeling it. Great, and like it's easy for me to talk, right? But it's like literally like playing with hot and cold. You're walking around and you feel like, hey, it's kind of hotter or it's heavier, a bit more overwhelming. I feel like my energy is being drained the more I walk that way. Well, yeah, it's a sign. So if you pick that up, all you need is an intention. Like, hey, I have an intention to close that portal. Focus on it, and you might get the feeling of what kind of portal is it? How big is it? You might ask that to yourself, like, hey, how big is the portal? And you're trying to focus on it. You're trying to feel it. And you're like, oh, it's about this big. Or like, oh, it's massive. It's like as big as a door or as big as a tree. It can be all kinds of sizes, but you will get this answer inside of you. If you cannot see it, if you cannot like have a good visual on it, then just feeling state and asking yourself, your consciousness knows it all. Your consciousness picks up on everything that's invisible to you at the moment because your brain can't handle it. But like the more you're able to sort of open that door for yourself, open the possibility that like, yeah, you can do it, you can pick it up, then you will get all the answers because you create that ability. You create like a chance for yourself to live in that world, a chance for yourself to say, hey, I have this ability, I can do it. But if you're denying it to yourself, like, no, I can't see it, I can't do it, then you are taking away your abilities, your chances. You are creating the reality where you cannot perceive it, but you feel it. You cannot deal with it, you don't have the abilities, but you still feel it and you still feel the effects of it. So if you tell yourself like, hey, you create the reality, so you choose, can you do it or you can't? And you've created yourself the allowance, yeah, you can do it. So again, intention, maybe finding out the origins of like, hey, this portal is meant to allow entities to get into your space, or incubus and succubus. And so they never-endingly, are coming into your place, into that location, and then are affecting people around you, or specifically you. And, if you have this idea, if you have a sense or meaning of the portal, then an intention is like, okay, I feel it, I sense it, and you can literally take your hands and imagine like having a piece of paper. You're just going to take it and fold it and crush it and turn it into nothing. So with your hands, you have an intention to make it smaller, 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 squeeze it, right? But not just to this, but imagine it shrinking into the atom and then disappearing out of existence. And you close it fully. Or another way to do it is to like, okay, I'm going to destroy it. So it's like literally like shattering or breaking a mirror. It breaks into 1,000 pieces, but it's no longer a whole thing, so it cannot get through. Now, it's not like you shattered it and it's not like thousands of little mini portals. No, it has to be the whole thing for them. So yeah, you can shatter it. You can think of any kind of tool that you would use to take care of something. Some people like a flamethrower. Some people like the katana. Others are like, I don't need all those. I can just take an eraser and it disappears. You can do it. So it's up to your creativity. Because in the end, all that matters is your intention and your creativity. Your intention is to close it. How you do it? There's lots of tools. Pick up anything you like. So that's like on the destroying part. But another thing, if the origin is like that portal is a train station, or specifically a station from beings to move from one place to another, you would like to move it out of your space. Not destroy it, move it. Because imagine you wanted a gateway to leave this place. You wanted a gateway to get into your dream world, to get into reality that makes it feel good. You want to escape from here, at least once in a while, when it gets hard. And you create this ability for yourself and you can get out. But if you're being stopped, you start pointing fingers at someone. Someone's stopping me. Someone's getting in the way. I want to have my freedom. I want to feel good, and someone's getting in the way. I'm going to punish them. A lot of people are like, vengeful, or they're looking for a target because, hey, I did everything I could and someone's getting in the way. They need to experience the same thing that I'm going through. And I'm going to teach them a lesson. And all of a sudden we get righteous. We get like, I'm going to teach them. I'm going to show them. And we get like a bit aggressive. And that is good for some people. We need that. We need to feel righteous. We need to fight for ourselves. It's not like, okay, you get slapped on your face and like, fine, do it again. I don't care. You don't have to be that. It's good to fight for yourself. It's good to fight to get what you want. You're right about that. But specifically, when beings create those portals without having an intention to hurt you, they just use that space and you are able to pick it up because you're accessing more than one reality all at once, then you don't want to harm them. You don't want to cause trouble because otherwise you might have someone picking like you as a target. Like, hey, we have this traveling point and this being just destroyed it. We had millions of beings passing by, traveling from one location to other, going to homes, like being saved from one world, and all of a sudden this guy, this girl just wrecked it. Why? Why would you do that? Why are you so like evil? And they will see you as a being who got in the way. The way some people see reptilians or grays or other kind of like evil entities, like, hey, you're getting in the way of my life. Someone will point a finger at you because you destroy their chance to travel. You destroy their chance to like get away from something. This is why you want to pick up on the origin, or like, why is it there? What's the origin of the portal? Is it here to harm me, or is it here to harmlessly allow other beings to pass from one place to another? But I'm picking up an energy and it is getting in my way. It's not meant to harm me, but I am feeling exhausted. I'm feeling drained. I don't like it. And if it's that, where you can pick it up, it is not meant to mess with you, but you are feeling drained, you're feeling tired, then it's when you want to move that portal. And so you're like, okay, same thing. You might see it, you might feel it, but the intention is not to harm you. So then what you do is you communicate, hey, whoever created this portal, and put it here, I am getting drained and I feel exhausted because of this. I do not want to harm you. I don't want to cause you any trouble, but I would like to live my life peacefully without this. So what I'm going to do is move this portal above, move this portal to the left. And what you do is like, you just lift it up. Listen, imagine it floating up or moving into another location. You can do that. So the portal will still exist, but now the door will be a bit to the right. Imagine like Harry Potter, right? And they're going into that train station where they're gonna get, like, they're gonna take their car, they're gonna run into the wall, and they're gonna teleport and end up like in like their Hogwarts location. So same thing, but the gate now is not this pillar, but another pillar. So you literally would want to intentionally like kind of like tell them why you're doing this. And they're gonna be fine, like, oh, okay, like, they're gonna be understanding why you're moving the portal. And then with an intention, you push it, imagine pushing it. Maybe you want to use your hands, maybe your intention and visuals are enough. If you don't have any visuals, you have an idea, okay? You might close your eyes to relax, to just sort of like work on that meditative little process. But again, it's up to your creativity. You might use your hands, you might think of a bulldozer, you might think of a crane, but this portal is moving from one location to another, and you assign it like, okay, now it's no longer in your house. Maybe it is above your house, maybe it's in the forest, maybe it's miles away from you, doesn't matter, but you move it out of your space with an intention and just telling beings why you're doing it. So this little process will help you because there are beings who might enter your house. I have quite a few friends who are experiencing like paranormal things. They're walking around their house and all of a sudden someone's moving all their portraits, like little pictures on the walls and other things. The items around the house are like disappearing or just like getting replaced. But a person can pick up the feeling as in like, it's not there to scare you. It's not the poltergeist. It's not there to mess with you. It's literally their kid or like childlike beings. They're not bullies. They're playing. They want your attention. It might be someone from your past lives. And so they get into your space and they use their little force they can and they move things around. And it's not there to mess with you. It's not there to drive you crazy. It's not there to scare you. They're playing with you. They want your reaction. And literally, that would be a little portal open for kids or for some like little spirits or like little elven dwarves, kind of little thingies. Again, the world's out there and the beings that exist, like it's just so vast and never ending. There's a massive variety. And so if you can pick up like the origin, well, like, why is it here? Is it here to harm me or not? Is it here to target me or not? And if you feel like it is harmless, but it is getting in the way of your life, you can move it. If it is actually pointing at you and causing troubles in your life, then you can close it. So hopefully this gives you a few ideas. If you've dealt with other kinds of portals, feel free to share in the comments, like what kind of expertise do you have? Have you dealt with it, or are you looking for ways? And if you are, maybe we can find some tools to help you out. So leave that in the comments and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.